Hi, it's Kelly from Project Find Your Fire. Listen, today I'm here to talk you through one of the tools that we use all the time, and we use it in our coaching and we use it in our workshops, and we use it personally all the time as well because it's such a handy tool. And that tool is the life wheel. Now, the life wheel is broken up into 8 sections, 8 areas of our life that we're going to take a look at. And those areas are friends and social, your family, your finances, health and fitness, relationships, spiritual, mind and emotion, and career and business. Now, there's a catch to this because what we're going to look at is the ideal of where we are in each of those areas compared to where we are in our current life conditions. Now, this is going to take some clarification on your part. Now, this is your wheel, so I need you to do the definitions. So here's how it works. In terms of your ideal, you're going to have to define what the ideal is. What is the ideal area for you in your life at this point in your life? And where are you currently in your life? You're going to have to define that and be real honest with yourself and reflect on that a little bit. But more so, you are going to have to define exactly what is in each of these areas. What does each area encompass? Now, this is just a snapshot. A tool is only a tool. It's not the ends to the means, but it gives us the helicopter view of exactly where we are now. See, we know where we're going. We're going to our ideal, but if we don't know where we are, the map isn't going to do us any good. So this is going to give us a shot of where we are right now and the directions that we need to go. So I'm going to walk through this with you so you understand better what I'm talking about. All right, so let's start with your friends and social in this area of your life. Now, what does this mean to you? Your friends and social area, it's your social life, it's your friends, it's who you spend your time with, how you spend your time with, the quality of that time versus the quantity of that time. It's what you're doing. Are you supporting and uplifting, or do your friends tend to drag you down just a little bit? Whatever your ideal is, think about what encompasses friends and social. And then imagine, ideally in your life, what does that mean to you? If you were to make the ideal friends social situation in your life, what would that look like? Now, once you decide that, that's out here at 10. Come back in towards 0 and rate yourself between 0 and 10, your current life conditions, where you are right now in this area of your life, friends and social. And then let's go on to family. Family it could be your significant other, although there is a relationship category and some people reserve the relationship category specifically for that person. But in family, we have our own children and our own grandchildren. We have our aunts and uncles and nieces and nephews and our parents and our grandparents and all of those people that are our family. Think about those people and the definition that you give to what is your family. Now, with that definition in mind, what does your ideal family look like? What is that area of your life? If you were to define the pinnacle of that area and make sure that it's your ideal, it can't be somebody else's ideal. Because when you put in your current life condition in that area and you're shooting towards somebody else's ideal for you, we're shooting in the wrong direction. So make sure that it's your ideal. So in family, imagine what the ideal scenario is. Then come back, rate yourself between 0 and 10. Where is your current life condition right now, today, in that area? Now on to finances. What does your financial life look like? All of the things that are included in that. And what is the ideal of that, of your financial situation? You know, for some people, the ideal is, I want to be a multiple 7-figure earner. I want to be debt-free. Maybe your ideal is that you just want to be able to pay the bills and put food on the table and live comfortably. Maybe you've got vacations that you want to take. Whatever your ideal is, that's up to you. That's your definition. It can't be anybody else's. Then come back. Where between 0 and 10 are you in your financial life right now, today, compared to where your ideal is, where you want to be, what you're shooting for? Then to your health and fitness. Health and fitness is your wellness, your overall vitality and quality of life, physically speaking. Now, what takes up health and fitness? It's the food that you eat, it's what you drink. It's do you exercise? How often do you exercise? You know, simple things like that that make up what is your health and fitness and wellness. Now, think of your ideal. If your ideal is to be a triathlete or qualify for the Olympics, that's somebody's ideal. Maybe your ideal is just to be able to live pain-free. Maybe your ideal is to just be in good shape, just be able to stay ahead of that age number that keeps creeping up on us. Whatever your ideal is, that's fine, but make it your ideal. Then come back. Where are you today? What is your current life condition today, right now, in relationship to where you want to be ultimately, your ideal? And then to relationships. Some people, like I said, save this for their significant other. Some people take a more broader look at relationships and they think of the relationships they have with those people around them, the quality of those relationships, the quality of time versus the quantity of time. Are they uplifting relationships, supportive relationships, whatever that means to you? But don't forget, you also have a relationship with yourself that you have to take into account as well. So what does your ideal relationship life look like? What is that all about? What does it entail? And once you've decided what your ideal relationship is, come back. Where are you today? What is your current life condition today with your relationships? And then on to your spiritual health. Now, your spiritual health could be faith, it could be religion-based, and you could talk about the times and the talents and the volunteer work that you offer to those organizations. It could be a more in-depth spiritual look, a look at your spiritual well-being, your essence, the true you. Maybe it has to do with nature for you. Maybe it has to do with some other way to connect with the universe or your maker or whatever your spiritual essence being is. That's what defines spirit. And you're going to have to decide that exactly for yourself. Now think of ideal. Ideally, in my spiritual life, where do I want to be? What do I want to be accomplishing in that ideal realm, at the pinnacle of my spiritual existence? And then come back. Where are you today, your current life conditions, and rate yourself between 0 and 10. In mind and emotions, this is your mental health, your emotional well-being. It's about how much in control you are of your mental health and your emotional health. It's about, your thirst for knowledge and your ability to turn that knowledge into wisdom. It's about, focusing on your emotions. Your emotions are your drivers and having control of those. So that's your mind and emotional health. What does the ideal look like to you? Think about the ideal. Where do you want to be mentally and emotionally? Are you a lifelong learner? There's always something more to attain to. Maybe it's emotional euphoria, where you are in complete control of your emotions and all of those things that guide you. Whatever the ideal is, that's you. You have to define that. Then come back. Compared to your ideal, where are you between 0 and 10? And then on to career and business. Now, in your career and in your business, this entails, the job that you do, the company that you work for, maybe if you're in business for yourself, how that's going for you. So you have to define what career and business means for you. Now, what is the ideal for you? Are you going to get that promotion that you've been trying to get in the past 6 years? Are you going to leave that old job that you can't stand going to and start your own business that you've always wanted to start? Maybe that's your ideal. That's what we're shooting for. That doesn't mean tomorrow we're going to hit that ideal, but it's the target, it's the finish line. And remember, you won't ever hit the finish line if you don't take a look at where you are right now in the race. And that's what this is. So in your career and business, in relation to your ideal, where are you right now? What is your current life condition in your career and business? Now, as we go through these, I want you to understand something clearly. That each of these are fairly broad. Even though we must give a definition to each one, we must delineate what this means for us. Each one of these areas could be broken down into their own wheel. So in the area of, here I landed on health and fitness, we could make another wheel just on health and fitness and create 8 areas in health and fitness that we could focus on. We could focus on nutrition, we could focus on breathing, we could focus on water, we could focus on all of these different things that relate back to our overall health and fitness. So understand that there are smaller things inside here, but this is our helicopter view. This is our snapshot of where we are right now. Now, what I want you to do, you marked all of these, and I want you to color those in like this person did. And I want you to notice something, because your wheel probably looks a lot like this one. We're fairly even until we hit this area here and we see some clunks. We rated low in the spiritual category, but this person rated themselves fairly high in their relationships, which is a good thing. And this is also a good thing because it gives us an awareness, an understanding of where we are in relationship to our ideal, where we want to be. So that awareness is absolutely key. We've got to know that. But it creates a clunk, and no wheel that looks like this is going to run smoothly. Ideally, what we want to do is build these so that we create an even wheel. Now, even though we have an even wheel, we must remember that we always have to be working towards that ideal. There's always things to be working towards. And if we are rated low, 2s, everything's rated a 2, our wheel is nice and smooth, it's running smoothly, but we're far away from our ideal. So to create a better quality of life for us, we're going to take those 2s and we're going to work all of them out at the same time. Try to keep our wheel nice and round as we work out. And now you're looking at your wheel and the clunkiness that's going on in your wheel, and you're saying, Kelly, this is all great, but what do I do with this clunky wheel? Well, that's where we come in. We've got all kinds of tools and tips and tricks and techniques to help you along this path, to get you to the finish line. And as you work, you're going to keep reevaluating yourself. That's why it's important. You can get the Life Wheel on our website, projectfindyourfire.com/tools, and you'll see the download button. Go ahead and download it and print it off. Print off as many copies as you would like. Do the wheel often, and here's why. Because in every stage of our life, our ideals are going to change, right? And with every stage of our life, as our ideals change, the relationship to where we are in our current conditions is also going to change. That's why we need to do this fairly often. And I would say once a month or so to do it at least 3 or 4 times over the course of the year. Every few months, do a life wheel just to double check where you're at. Something else I want you to remember, that the categories up here aren't set in stone. This isn't a magical formula. I want you to change the categories as it pertains to your lifestyle. For example, if you are a student, career in business probably isn't high on your priority. You probably don't even know what your ideals are in that. Change this to your education. Talk about going to school, the grades that you get. If you're in sports, you can still do health and fitness. All of these still pertain. If you're a retired person, you can still do a career in business, except you're going to call it service work or volunteer or hobbies even. But there's another area in your life that has taken over your career in business, and you're substituting that time for. And we need to account for that and where you are with that. So that's your overview, that's your snapshot. As you do your wheel, if you have any questions, if you want us to help you get to that ideal level, just shoot out to us and we'll be right there to help you answer any questions that we can, help you any way you can. Thank you very much.